Experience action. Let's stop just talking about customer experience, employee experience, and the experience of leaders. Let's turn ideas into action. Your host, Jeannie Walters, is an award-winning customer experience expert, international keynote speaker, and founder of Experience Investigators, a strategic consulting firm helping companies increase sales and customer retention through elevated customer experiences. Ready, set, action.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Here we are again for another episode with another fantastic question. Now, if you have not heard yourself on this podcast, I encourage you, ask that question at speakpipe.com/experience action. That's what this listener did. Let's listen in.
Hi, Jeannie. I love how you discuss the difference between customer service and customer experience. I work with people who really believe they understand customer service, so there's nothing to worry about. How do I get them to see that we should focus on customer experience, not just the customer service? Thank you so much.
Great question. So, first of all, thank you for your kind words. And let's face it, a lot of people think customer service and customer experience are interchangeable, that you can say one and mean the other, and it really doesn't matter what the definition is.
Don't get them confused. They're not the same thing.
But when I think about how this fits in, we have to acknowledge that we need both of these things to have a successful business. We need to make sure that our customer service is responsive and friendly and solving the problem quickly for a customer. But essentially, that's a reactive process. Customer service is what happens when somebody wants that service, when they reach out to us, when there's a problem. Customer experience is about being proactive and intentional, designing the journey for our customers so that they can get what they need and achieve their goals in the most delightful and effortless way possible. And when we do this well, we all win. Now, anybody who's listened to me or read my articles certainly understands that this is something I talk about a lot, but I really believe that when this is done well, the company wins because we get more revenue, higher customer lifetime value, more word-of-mouth referrals. We, as employees and colleagues, win because employees are happier, believe it or not, when they have happier customers. So you have longer employee retention, you have more employee candidate referrals, all of the things that we want on the inside of the organization. And then finally, of course, the customer wins. They get exactly what they want, the way they want it, in a fast and effortless way. That's what everybody's looking for. So while it's a win-win-win, sometimes what happens is our colleagues with very good intentions typically say things like, if we do customer service well, that's enough, right? Customer service is enough. And many really believe that this is sufficient to meet customer needs.
That's not good enough.
But while customer service is important, it's simply one piece of the puzzle. We're looking for customer experience that really encompasses the entire customer journey and has a holistic approach that goes beyond reactive problem solving. When you hear things like customer service is what we do and we're very good at it, there's no reason to be ashamed of that. There's a lot of reason to have pride around that. We have to attach that within the journey itself. So if we don't understand what happened to create that moment of service, then we're not going to get better at solving the problem before it happens. If we don't take the time to really listen in on what our customers saying in that moment so that we can actually address things that we know are an issue. There are so many ways to think about this, but when you're talking to those colleagues who really don't get it,
I don't understand you.
One of the things that can happen is they're looking at customer service and customer experience as a cost center. They're looking at it as a way that the company is investing in their people who respond to those service issues, but we're just losing money. We're not actually gaining anything from customer service. What I would say to that is customer experience is actually a building block for business success and actually is a revenue generator. When we are intentional about the customer experience, We create more customer loyalty. We build those strong relationships with our customers, and we foster that loyalty and repeat business. Because when customers have a positive experience with your brand, they are so much more likely to become advocates, recommending your products or services to others. And of course, we have that increased customer lifetime value, which essentially means we are making more money per customer than if we don't focus on this.
Make money, money, make money.
A satisfied customer, a happy customer, a loyal customer, they are more likely to make repeat purchases and spend more over time. So by delivering a consistently exceptional experience, we can maximize the value of each customer relationship. Customer experience is also becoming the differentiator from your competitors. In today's very competitive landscape, where products and services, we can find those in 8 million zillion different ways, right? If you are looking for something specific, you can find it in many, many places. But providing a better experience sets your brand apart from the competition, making customers more likely to choose you over alternatives. Now, customer service only happens when you already have a customer. Think about that.
That makes sense.
Customer service only happens when they've decided to become a customer, when they're in your pipeline enough that they are starting to kick the tires enough where maybe they have an issue. Maybe they can't get through your website. Maybe they can't find what they're looking for. So they need to actually extend themselves and say, I need help. Customer experience actually kind of puts on a show before somebody even knows that they might be a customer, because they might hear about customer experiences from other customers. They might get referred. They might just hear about the amazing experiences that happen because people are so loyal to the brand. So if we want to be proactive and intentional, which is what you know I want you to do, then we have to think about it that way. If we're only relying on customer service, that means we're only thinking about the customer when they are essentially thinking of us. Customer experience is being proactive about that and saying, you know what? We know that we could prevent this pain point in the future so that our customers don't even know about it. That's what being proactive and intentional can do. Now, another great part about customer experience is not just that positive brand reputation that goes out into the world, but also we're going to reduce the number of customers who walk out.
Don't leave.
We're going to reduce customer churn because when customers have a negative experience, they are more likely to switch to a competitor. By prioritizing this, by focusing on customer experience, we can minimize that churn rate, retaining valuable customers, and the bonus is we also reduce acquisition costs.
And boss is going to love that.
So if you're hearing things like, you know what, customer experience is just a buzzword.
What did you just say?
First of all, everybody just take a deep sigh with me because I know we've all heard this one. Deep sigh. Some may dismiss customer experience as a passing trend or buzzword, and we've all been in those meetings. However, customer experience is a fundamental aspect of business strategy. The way I talk about it, you need those experience commitments. It's the mindset, it's the strategy, it's the discipline. Because that can have a direct impact on business growth and profitability. And every business, every organization out there is trying to grow their revenue, increase their profitability, and lower their expenses. Customer experience can contribute to each of those goals in a really powerful way. It is not a fleeting concept, but a long-term approach to creating value for customers. So if you start hearing these things, it's a cost center. Customer service is enough. It's a buzzword. I want you to stand up for what this really means for your organization, because customer service is absolutely critical to business success. We have to get that right. But it's a piece of the puzzle. It is part of the greater aspect of looking at the customer journey in a holistic way and being intentional and proactive about customer experience. If we do this right, we have differentiation, We have increased customer lifetime value. We have an enhanced brand reputation. We increase customer retention, reduce customer churn. And at the end of the day, we have happier customers, folks. And isn't that what we all want? Happier customers who are more likely to spend more, to stay in the relationship longer, to tell their friends, to be nice to your employees. All of those things are true when we invest in this in the right way. So, what are a few ways that you can get others to care about this? I have a few ideas for you.
Listen up, everybody.
One is to educate on the difference. Everything we just talked about, simply explain that. Talk about how customer service is a piece of something greater called customer experience. And both of those things are important. We're not trying to discount the importance of customer service. We also want to share success stories. You've probably seen this in action. Highlight success stories. If you don't have them in your organization right now because there's so much that maybe isn't working, look for organizations in your industry or maybe industry adjacent that have those success stories that have prioritized customer experience and seen tangible results. Better yet, if you have those not so great stories from your organization, highlight what could have happened. What would have happened if you hadn't lost that big customer? What would have happened if you had gained that big customer that told you that the reason they didn't become a customer is because they were concerned about the customer experience? We want to get proactive, and that's one of the ways we can do it. We, of course, want to gather customer insights. So if you already have some customer feedback metrics, some customer feedback verbatims or things like that, go ahead and share those. And you want to implement those feedback loops to gather those customer insights and then share them with your colleagues. So use that feedback to illustrate the impact of customer satisfaction on areas like loyalty and overall business performance. Those can tell a great story, but you have to be in the right place to gather them and then turn them around and share and communicate and socialize those with your colleagues. And then, hey, why not provide training and resources? I actually recently had somebody reach out to me who said, you know what? We don't have any budget. We have no budget here for customer experience. So what I've been doing is sending out your videos, Jeannie, to these different colleagues that I have. It's like a grassroots effort to get others educated. So if you haven't checked those out, we have a whole YouTube channel. We have all sorts of things at our Learning Center. We have guides and checklists and articles galore. So if you are looking for some education to just share, I encourage you to do that. This podcast could be one of them. We also have a newsletter that you can forward on to your colleagues. That's just one area, of course, of the content that we provide. There are other things out there that are really valuable that you could go ahead and just share. If you read a great article about a company that has been doing this, go ahead and pass that on. Provide those tools and frameworks like customer journey mapping and service blueprinting and all of those best practices so that they can start seeing that this is way beyond just reacting to service issues. And then finally, because you're asking this question, I know you're already doing this, but be that role model. Lead by example. So consistently prioritize customer experience in your own communications, your own work. Show your colleagues the positive outcomes that can be achieved by focusing holistically on the customer journey. Because then you can start getting your colleagues to understand the importance of customer experience and feel more empowered and engaged to participate in it. So I hope that's helpful. This is such a great question because I know many of you are in situations like this. You know, it's not unusual these days for me and my company to get a request where they say, oh, we've heard Jeannie should come in and speak to our company about customer service. And we, respond and we say, well, that's great. These are the topics we talk about, including customer experience. We have some great workshops, etc. And even though none of those things say customer service as the lead, right? Sometimes we talk about customer service in the context of customer experience. But if we're talking about things like a customer experience mission statement, helping them define their success statement, helping them understand that customer experience is everyone's job, all of those things, they will still write back to us and say, this sounds great. We're really focused on customer service right now. So you are not alone. This is a cultural shift. If we don't have the language, we kind of revert to what we know. And so we want to also give people some grace around that. And so sometimes we say, that sounds great. We'll be there. And by the end of that workshop, they understand the difference between customer experience and customer service.
Mission accomplished.
And that's what I encourage you to do, is just keep repeating, keep banging that drum, keep making sure that you are making those distinctions and helping them understand what the difference is. And then sharing education wherever you can. Most people really want to do well. Most people really want to do well for the companies that they work with. So let's help them do that. And if we have that attitude about it going in, we're not blaming, we're not trying to be a know-it-all, we're not trying to do anything except help empower the people around us so that we can do this together. Because as you know, CX is a team sport. We cannot do this on our own. We have to get that buy-in from our colleagues, from our leaders across the organization. So I give you a lot of credit for starting on this journey and doing your best to get others to understand. It's an important topic, and it's one that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to as they're listening to this. So thank you so much for this question. If you are enjoying this podcast, we would love your feedback and reviews. So wherever you listen to podcasts, please go and let us know what you think by leaving us a review on the podcast page. You can also, of course, visit our website at experienceinvestigators.com, fill out that contact form, and let us know there too. And we always are interested in your questions. So please leave me questions at speakpipe.com/experienceaction. Hey, if you're afraid your voice is going to get recognized or something, go ahead and email us. We'll include it in a different way as well. Thanks so much for all you're doing, and I cannot wait to answer your next question. To learn more about our strategic approach to experience, check out free resources at experienceinvestigators.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter, our Year of CX program, and more. And please follow me, Jeannie Walters, on LinkedIn.